Breaking news, Hurricane Ian is taking aim and Florida is bracing for it.
The powerful storm is expected to get even stronger over the next few hours. Gloria Pazmino is live in Tampa with this severe weather update.
And the Florida Division of Emergency Management just told all Floridians the time to get out is now. I'm standing in Hillsborough County, which is under mandatory evacuation order. More than 300,000 people affected by that order. 45 shelters have opened up here. This is the Hillsborough River behind me. And when the storm begins to hit, the potential for surge and flooding is very high. That's what officials here are worried about the most. A devastating amount of water coming into the Tampa area. If you haven't already left, you only have a couple of hours left to do it.
Hurricane Ian, still on track to be the first major hurricane to make landfall in the U.S. this year. After slamming into Cuba Tuesday morning, Ian is now expected to bring a life-threatening storm surge to Florida's west coast. And for the first time in more than 100 years, Tampa could get a direct hit.
A slow-moving storm right off of our coast, which is going to bring a devastating amount of water to the Tampa Bay area.
Schools are closing and flights are canceled. Evacuations are underway. Residents are boarding up homes and businesses.
We got to board up the windows still and try and cover up these windows, the door. We still have to sandbag our door after we put some spray foam to keep the water out.
Mike Jackson's store in Gulfport flooded from Hurricane Ada in November 2020. He says he's extremely worried that will happen again or worse.
It was kind of a mess, but we'll get past it again.
Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis warning those who are in the storm's path they could lose power for more than just a few days.
The worst thing is when you lose power. So you've got no power, no water. So yeah, I recommend have plenty of water, even if it's for a few days. So we're battening down the hatches.
Now, the latest estimate says we could see 15 to 20 inches of rain in this area over the next 5 days. So we could have the storm potentially hovering over us, dropping all that water. As I said, flooding, storm surge, a huge risk factor here in the area. People being asked to evacuate as soon as possible as the storm approaches. In Tampa, Gloria Pazmino, back to you.
Breaking news, a suspect has been arrested in the disappearance and apparent murder of a woman with Hawaii ties. Former Big Island resident, 28-year-old Allison Marie Castro, was reported missing in Arkansas last week Monday. Today, the Fayetteville Police Department announced the arrest of 29-year-old Casey Jennings. He faces charges of capital murder and abuse of a corpse. Authorities said they responded to a home on September 19th when they found Jennings apparently experiencing a drug overdose. Police said while they were there, they found several documents indicating he possibly killed Castro and disposed of her body. Family members told police Castro and Jennings were previously in a relationship and were living together. Authorities have yet to locate Castro's body and continue to seek tips in the case. Castro, a 2012 graduate of Kealakekee High School, was in Arkansas attending nursing school. The investigation is ongoing.
We have this new video to show you. Japan's former leader, Shinzo Abe, was honored by a rare and divisive state funeral that was full of militaristic presentations, such as soldiers carrying his ashes. The current prime minister has said the publicly financed ceremony was a deserved honor for Japan's longest-serving modern political leader, but that has deeply split public opinion. We've seen a number of protests in recent days.
You preached the intersections of the two oceans. You have taken your ideas further and developed them into a framework for a free and open Indo-Pacific region that serves many countries and many people. You have dramatically strengthened relations with the U.S., dramatically enhancing U.S.-Japan deterrence.
The event was attended by Vice President Harris.
There has been much that has been said in honor of his role of leadership to Japan, but also to the United States. It was he who coined the term of free and open Indo-Pacific. And as a member of the Indo-Pacific region, as America, we cherish those principles and we stand by them. And it is part of the bond that forms the alliance between the United States and Japan.
A new documentary on longtime GOP operative Roger Stone gives a behind-the-scenes look before and after the January 6th Capitol attack. Now, Stone can be seen and heard talking about how to deal with the 2020 election results. Sunlin Surfety reports.
In documentary clips obtained by CNN, longtime Republican operative Roger Stone advocating violence before the 2020 presidential election.
Excellent. Violence. We're the voting. Let's get right to the violence.
Let's get right to it.
Shoot to kill. See an Antifa? Shoot to kill. Done with this bullshit.
That clip was filmed on November 2nd, 2020, and is now in the hands of the January 6th House Select Committee investigating the Capitol attack. The committee delivered a subpoena to Copenhagen and obtained 8 minutes of footage from the Danish filmmaker's documentary.
Their interest was kind of the chain from the White House to Roger Stone and onwards to Proud Boys and Oath Keepers.
You think that you are able to establish a direct connection between all of those?
No, absolutely
you cannot.
not. What we have only been with Roger Stone and his communications with the White House. We do not know anything about.
Okay. Did he spend a lot of time with members of the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers or any groups like that, QAnon people?
Proud Boys, you mean? Yes, Proud Boys, he's very close to the Proud Boys.
Did you see him communicating with anyone from these groups?
Yeah, constantly.
Constantly?
Yeah.
They filmed Stone's movements for periods over 3 years and filmed Stone just days before the election, saying then President Trump should just claim victory.
Let's just hope we're celebrating. I really do suspect it'll still be up in the air. But when that happens, the key thing to do is to claim victory. Possession is 9/10 of the law. No, we won. You. Sorry, over. We won. Yeah. You're wrong. You.
Stone denies the accuracy of the videos, writing in a statement to CNN, "I challenge the accuracy and the authenticity of these videos and believe they have been manipulated and selectively edited. The excerpts you've provided below prove nothing. Certainly they do not prove I had anything to do with the events of January 6th. That being said, it clearly shows I advocated for lawful congressional and judicial options." In the clips exclusively obtained by CNN, Stone, as far back as July 2020, was laying the groundwork for the future Stop the Steal campaign and the false claims that the election was stolen.
What they're assuming is that the election will be normal. The election will not be normal. Oh, these are the California results? Sorry, we're not accepting them. We're challenging them in court. If the electors show up at the Electoral College, armed guards will throw them out. I'm the president. You're not stealing Florida, you're not stealing Ohio. I'm challenging all of it, and the judges we're going to are judges I appointed. You're not stealing the election. That's basically what Bush did to Gore. So, if they want to run a bunch of fake ballots, we'll have an investigation. We'll say, these ballots are fake, your results are invalidated, goodbye. That's the way it's going to have to work. Wow. It's going to be really nasty.
In another clip, Stone is seen on January 15th, days after the Capitol attack, criticizing the White House counsel's office for what he described as their argument that Trump could not provide preemptive pardons to Stone and others for their alleged involvement in efforts to overturn the election.
I believe the president's for it. The obstacles are these lily-livered, weak-kneed bureaucrats in the White House counsel's office, and now they must be crushed because they've told the president something that's not true.
And we've learned Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin will be in Hawaii later this week to tour the Red Hill underground fuel storage facility. Austin will be meeting with Rear Admiral John Wade. He's the commander in charge of the Joint Task Force responsible for overseeing the defueling and permanent closure of the fuel facility that's been leaking for years. At last check, the Navy said the project to remove the more than 100 million gallons of fuel could last through July of 2024. Time now for our Unraveling Your Traveling segment. Want to bring in Mike Valerio from CNN. He's in Washington today. Mike, you're here to tell us more about President Biden's plan to really make airlines and travel booking sites more transparent, right? Especially when it comes to those hidden fees.
Sure, Jonathan. And you know, this could be a huge deal because under this announcement that just came out from the White House, the next time you go online in the next few months and you see a flight price, you should, in theory, see all of the fees right next to it to really know if this is a deal or not.
After a messy summer at the airports,
there's a better than 50% odd that there's some kind of delay going to affect me almost on a weekly basis.
The White House is cracking down on airlines.
They cancel on you, and you have to pay a fee to rebook. Come on, man.
In the third meeting of the White House Competition Council, President Joe Biden announced new rules requiring airlines and travel sites to be more transparent.
No more hiding the price that you're paying.
Under the Department of Transportation's proposed new plan, airlines would have to disclose upfront any fees charged to sit with your child, for changing or canceling your flight, and for checked or carry-on baggage. Airlines for America, or A4A, a trade group representing major U.S. air carriers, issued a statement, reading in part, quote, A4A member passenger airlines already offer transparency to consumers from first search to touchdown. The council's agenda extends beyond airlines. The group is also looking at lowering or eliminating bank overdraft fees and cell phone carrier termination fees.
Something that's weighing down family budgets. Unnecessary hidden fees.
So, Jonathan, of course, you're all asking, so when are we going to see this? The timeline isn't exactly set in stone, but this is what we know. Over the next 60 days from now, roughly until the Thanksgiving travel period, people can go online to DOT's website and write in the public comment section if they think this is a great idea, or if it needs to be tweaked. And after those 60 days are over, frankly, this is likely to be finalized. It will be a few more months, though, likely into next year, when this all will be finalized and you will see these changes online. Jonathan?
So, Mike, we heard from one airline group there in your story, but what are travel booking sites saying about all this?
You know, it's interesting. We reached out to them just a few minutes ago, and they are in favor of these changes because from their point of view, we're talking about Kayak, Travelocity. They both say that they have so many customers who don't always fly, every month. They're flying maybe for just Thanksgiving and for just the summer vacation from here to Honolulu, for example. And they aren't used to all of these fees being tagged on. Business travelers, the company pays for these fees. But if you're a family on a budget and you're just flying once or twice a year, Travelocity, Kayak, the industry group that represents similar online booking sites, are saying this is going to be a win for consumers so they know when they see that price the first time, every single fee that could be possibly associated with it as they go through the booking process.
Yeah, I was reading some stories today, DOT saying in some of those stories that they're aware that a lot of airlines are already posting these fees on their website, but really the problem is that there's just so many, there's such a wide range of fees that it gets a little confusing for consumers. That's really the problem here.
Yeah, and they all change. I mean, it's $30, for example, for United for your first checked bag. It's $50 for Allegiant for any checked bag. As I just look at my notes right here, it's $280, upwards of that amount for American, for example, to change where you're sitting for the, I would say priciest economy ticket that you can possibly get for a longer flight. So all of these fees are so different, and the hope is that when all of these are out in the open for everybody to see pretty plainly, that many of them will be canceled altogether. The saying that my colleague Pete Montine at CNN here says that we went from free to fee roughly 15 years ago with all of these fees being instituted. So the hope is that we get back to free again.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for that update. Hope to check back in with you very soon. All right, let's continue to unravel your travel here for just a moment. I want to take you live to Fort Myers, Florida. Look at the conditions deteriorating there. There is a travel alert I need to tell you about. You know, Tampa International Airport just as now shut down to flights and operations. So if you have any flights tied to Florida, if you have a layover tied to Florida, you might want to check with your airline. A number of them are offering free waivers, so keep that in mind too. So just keep an eye on Ian. We'll do it for you here at H&N as well. Keep checking your digital platforms for update. But for now, as we take a look at this live picture, let's take a check of our weather. Here's Guy Hoggy.
Now today is going to be a little bit humid. We'll likely get some afternoon cloud buildups, maybe some spotty downpours, nothing widespread. And then starting tomorrow, the trade winds pick up, humidity levels go down. It's going to feel more comfortable from Wednesday through Saturday as those trade winds hang in at breezy levels. And again, look for a few more showers, looks like starting on Monday into Tuesday, and that's when the winds are going to pick up as well.
Britain's royals are getting back to work now that their official mourning period for Queen Elizabeth has ended. Ian Lee reports from London.
The new Prince and Princess of Wales made their first official visit to Wales Tuesday. William and Kate made the trip, as the palace says, to deepen the trust and respect for the people there.
Thank you for coming.
Everyone is adjusting to their new roles, including King Charles III, pictured with his official red box of government documents at Buckingham Palace. The palace's post office is busy rolling out letters with the king's new cipher.
The cipher is the monarch's monogram. It really consists of the initial of their name combined with the R for Rex.
Rex is Latin for king, along with C for Charles. The monogram will also appear on the UK's famous red letter boxes and on government buildings. The money is also going to change here. The king's face will eventually replace his mother's, but not for a couple of years. Queen Elizabeth is gone, but not forgotten. The Royal Mail is releasing new stamps looking back on the late monarch's life through the decades, which historians say will be a tough act to follow.
One of the things he'll face, of course, is he'll always be compared to her. And that will be difficult because she was an iconic figure and will continue to be so.
As the nation adapts to its first new head of state in 70 years. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Wow, all that money has to change.
Get your Queen Elizabeth bills now.
Yeah, and there's such a beautiful portrait, too. I'm surprised to see this go. All right, let's see what else the internet is talking about today. And this is very interesting. McDonald's Happy Meals are iconic and nostalgic. I'll agree with that. But usually you think they're for kids, right? Well, the fast food giant says it will launch a collaboration with a popular streetwear brand to sell Happy Meals to adults. Yes, the new Happy Meals are called Cactus Plant Flea Market Boxes. Wow, that's a mouthful, really. You can order them with a Big Mac or a 10-piece McNuggets. They come with fries and a drink and even a toy. Yes, the toys are McDonald's famous mascots that have been redesigned and pretty funky there. Yeah. They include Grimace, Hamburglar, and Birdie. There's also a new one named Cactus Buddy. Cactus Plant Flea Market is a streetwear brand that Ashley and I had never heard about before we read the script. And it's really popular with people like Kanye West. And I'm told a hoodie from the brand can sell for as much as $1,000.
That's why we don't know about it, John. We're not hip like that.
And we can't afford it. So, what'd you buy?
Well, Maroon 5 is going to be spending a lot more time in Sin City next year. The band is starting a new Las Vegas residency that features 16 shows from March to August at Dolby Live at Park MGM. Now, tickets go on sale on Monday, and the news, of course, comes as frontman Adam Levine deals with an alleged cheating scandal. So last week, he denied cheating on his wife with an Instagram model who made the accusation in a TikTok video. She says they dated for about a year and even shared Instagram messages she said were from him. Now, Levine has said he did not have an affair, but admitted to crossing the line and using poor judgment in speaking to anyone other than his wife in a flirtatious matter.
Yeah, just the latest star, though, to get a Vegas residency. So Have to see how that unfolds.
Yeah. So Amazon is getting a big jump on the holiday shopping season. The company is rolling out what it's calling Prime Early Access Sale, which will be similar to its annual Prime Day sale. So this new sale, which is set for October 11th and 12th, will offer deals on hundreds of thousands of items to Prime members. Other retailers also getting a jump start on the holidays. Walmart announced last week it will start its holiday sales as early as next month, and Target said its deal days will be held October 6th through the 8th.
All right, happy shopping, folks.
Yeah.
Let's get to some good news now. It's not Halloween quite yet, but there's some spooky sights and sounds in the air. Let's turn it over to Jeannie Mose to explain.
Fasten your seatbelt, because this is not your captain speaking. Emerson Collins was a passenger on an American Airlines flight from Los Angeles to Dallas. The weird noises over the plane's PA system began before takeoff and continued on and off during the flight.
It sounds like someone is struggling gastrointestinally or something.
For Emerson's traveling co-worker, it was a WTF experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, we realize there is an extremely irritating sound coming over the public announcements. None of us are enjoying it.
I was like, it's not irritating to me. I'm finding it sort of hilarious.
Theories ranged from, is someone hacking into American Airlines in-flight PA systems, to planes haunted. Who you gonna call? But wait, my wife and I experienced this during an American Airlines flight in July. Passengers on at least 3 flights heard moaning and screaming sounds over the PA.
The captain comes on and says there's no need to be concerned. This will not affect the flight controls, which is great.
American Airlines put out a statement. The PA systems aboard our aircraft are hardwired and there is no external access. The airline said our maintenance team thoroughly inspected the aircraft and the PA system and determined the sounds were caused by a mechanical issue with the PA amplifier. Yeah, well, maybe it is some kind of bizarre feedback. But try telling that to the poster who whimsically theorized flying hurts the clouds and their screams are picked up by the PA system. Jeannie Mose, CNN. New York.
I don't know if I buy that. I mean,
Yeah.
I need a better explanation than that. The cloud explanation
I love
actually
that.
works for me a little better than what the airline said. All right, we have time for one more story?
Yeah, so Rolling Stone magazine polled its journalists, actors, producers, and others in the show business to come up with the 100 greatest TV shows of all time. So here are your top 5: Sopranos, Simpsons, Breaking Bad, The Wire, and Fleabag.
What?
At the end of the list, Squid Game, Rick and Morty, The Odd Couple, The Good Fight, Oz, and at number 100, What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay, it sounds bad to be at the end of the list, but you have to think of how many TV shows there really
Yes.
are. But in the top 5, what is Fleabag? How do I not know that?
Me neither.
It's like
I looked through
Cactus
the
Plant.
entire list. No Grey's Anatomy.
Whoa, you're still a watcher. You're one
17
of the,
years strong.
and one of the
longest
17
relationship.
last watching it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for This Is Now. Ashley's back first at 4 on KHNL. Have a good one.
See you guys.